Imagine this. You're just an ordinary waiter working at a restaurant. You've been serving customers day in and day out, putting up with everything from rude guests to the boss's harsh words. But what happens when the person who's supposed to help you climb the ladder pulls it out from under you? When the boss fires you on the spot with no second thought? What if this isn't just about losing your job? What if the person who thought they held all the power actually made the biggest mistake of their life? Trust me, you're not going to want to miss what happens next because it's about to get real. Introduction. Setting the stage, 3 to 4 minutes. The waiter's struggles and background. Start by giving more detailed background on the waiter. He may not just be working to get by. Maybe he's trying to pay for college, take care of his family, or is trying to follow a dream of starting his own business. His modest life doesn't reflect his true potential, but he's worked hard and earned every cent he makes. The viewers should feel sympathy and admiration for him, understanding that this isn't just another fired employee story. This is someone with real aspirations. The boss's personality. The boss is far from just a rude or overbearing character. Dive into why he's the way he is. Perhaps he grew up with privilege and feels the need to assert his dominance over others. He might come from a family of business moguls and has always been taught that power is everything. He's used to getting what he wants and treats his employees like they're expendable. This backstory deepens the emotional impact of his later downfall. The tension building. Show the environment at the restaurant more vividly. Perhaps it's a high-end restaurant where appearances matter a lot, and the waiter struggles to meet the boss's impossible standards. Maybe the boss is particularly harsh on the waiter, even singling him out in front of others for small mistakes. The tension between them should feel palpable, so when the firing happens, it feels like an inevitable explosion. The build-up to the firing. Show a more detailed build-up to the moment of the firing. Perhaps the waiter is involved in a complicated order or a situation that gets out of hand, leading to the boss's growing frustration. The customers may notice the tension, adding to the sense of discomfort and injustice. The boss might start making passive-aggressive comments before finally snapping and firing the waiter. This should feel like a culmination of weeks or months of mistreatment, not just an isolated event. The boss's cruelty. The boss doesn't just fire him, he belittles him. He could insult the waiter's intelligence, make snide remarks about his appearance, or even talk down to him in front of the customers. You can add dialogue that shows just how deeply prejudiced and rude the boss is, making the audience feel the emotional weight of the situation. The waiter's emotional struggle. Expand on the emotional impact this firing has on the waiter. He might feel a mix of anger, humiliation, and confusion. He could contemplate fighting back or speaking up, but ultimately decides to leave with grace, showing that he has the strength to walk away from a toxic situation rather than sink to the boss's level. This decision makes the audience root for him even more. The reveal. The true identity, 5 to 6 minutes. Hints about the waiter's background. Before the reveal, you could add more subtle clues about the waiter's true identity. Maybe he mentions that his family is connected in passing, or someone overhears a conversation where he talks about a high-profile meeting he's supposed to attend. These hints should be small and easy to miss, allowing the twist to hit hard. The reveal scene. The reveal moment could be dramatic, with the boss receiving a phone call or message that turns his world upside down. Perhaps someone walks into the restaurant to confirm the waiter's identity. You could even add a twist where the waiter doesn't immediately reveal himself, but instead watches the boss's world start to crumble in real time. This builds suspense and makes the boss's eventual regret feel even more intense. The boss's initial denial. The boss might initially deny that the waiter could be someone important. He might brush it off, thinking it's some kind of misunderstanding, but the more evidence piles up, the more his panic sets in. This creates a tension-filled moment where the audience is on edge, waiting for the full extent of the fallout to unfold. Regret and consequences. The boss's realization, 5 to 6 minutes. The boss's desperation. As the truth sinks in, the boss begins to panic. He could try to backtrack, calling the waiter, offering him an apology or a better position in the company. Maybe he even offers him a huge raise or special privileges, trying to use money to fix the situation. However, the waiter isn't interested in these empty gestures and realizes that the real way to teach the boss a lesson is to let his actions speak louder than words. The boss's fall from grace. As the boss tries to salvage his reputation, the consequences start to unfold. Perhaps the waiter subtly leverages his connections to expose the boss's racism or unethical behavior. The waiter's reputation grows as his actions help dismantle the boss's career. Clients pull out, and media outlets pick up on the story, shining a spotlight on the boss's discriminatory behavior. The fallout is swift and intense, showing just how quickly power can shift. The boss's desperation deepens as he realizes that his career, business, and public image are all crumbling because of his actions. He might even try to plead with the waiter, but the waiter has the upper hand now. This power dynamic shift should be satisfying for the audience, as the boss's arrogance has led him to underestimate someone he saw as inferior. 6. Reflection and lesson, 4 to 5 minutes. Exploring the bigger picture. Expand on the reflection and the deeper message of the story. This moment can be used to discuss issues like racial discrimination, prejudice, and the way society values people based on their status. Emphasize that the true worth of a person cannot be measured by their job or appearance. Real-life connections. You could even incorporate real-life examples of famous individuals who were underestimated due to their background or appearance, but later succeeded. This would tie the story into a broader narrative, making it feel even more relevant. Philosophical closing. End with a powerful, thought-provoking statement. For instance, true power doesn't come from what you own or how you're perceived, but from how you treat others. Be careful who you look down on today. They might just be the one holding the key to your future. 7. Call to action, 1 to 2 minutes. Personal reflection. Engage your audience by asking them to reflect on their own experiences. Have they ever judged someone too quickly or been judged unfairly? Invite them to share their thoughts in the comments to start a conversation. Encourage sharing. If this story made you think, share it with someone who might need to hear it. You never know, it could change someone's perspective and make them think twice before judging others. Additional ideas, a montage of consequences. You could add a short montage showing the growing consequences for the boss. Maybe it's media clips of people speaking out against him or employees quitting in protest. This highlights how quickly things can spiral when someone's actions are exposed. A final scene. You could add a final scene where the waiter walks away from the chaos, showing that he's moved on and grown from the experience. This gives a sense of closure and leaves the audience with a lasting impression of the waiter's strength.